Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So,
So we start the session. So today we are going to discuss a new type of normal form, that is grayback normal form.
so before Grayback normal form, what we have discussed is Chom- Chomsky's normal form. So there are basically two types of normal forms. One is Chomsky's normal form, and the other one is Grayback normal form. So before going to Grayback normal form GNF, let us see what. Let us have a quick review on what is CNF. So CNF says all the productions should be of the kind A tends to BC, where B is non-terminal, C is non-terminal, or both are variables. Or there can be another type of production, that is a non-terminal producing a terminal symbol. So these are the two productions that should be there in Chomsky's normal form. So we have seen some examples also. Here you can see all the productions are in Chomsky's normal form, and here you can see two productions are not in Chomsky's normal form, and we have also seen how to convert these productions into Chomsky's normal form that we have done in last class. So today we will start with Grayback normal form, and we'll see about the conversions. See, GNF, that is Grayback normal form, is said to be a normal form that works for a prefix, that works as a prefix expressions. What do you mean by prefix expression? I'd like to take an example here for prefix expressions. You can see here in this slide, we have taken a grammar indicating expression tends to plus AB, A tends to 5, B tends to star CD. See, all this expression that you can see on right side are prefix here, right? Where the operators will come first and then you will get the operands like A, B, 5 is terminating, 2 is terminating and 3 is terminating. And you can see the example string also. Prefix string is plus 5 star 2 into 3. And when you solve it, you will get 5 as the result. So, Grayback normal form is basically indicating prefix notation. Okay, so we'll come back here. See here, the symbol will be on the leftmost side, that will be followed by non-terminating symbols, right? So this symbol, once you put it on leftmost side, we can clearly say that whatever the derivations that you make will be on the right side. So you can derive V1, you can derive V2, or you can derive Vk because they are variables. So in Grayback normal form, there will not be any leftmost derivations. That is one point that you should know about Grayback normal form. Okay. So now let us, these variables that I have mentioned is V1 to Vk, and there is no rule that there can be up to k variables. It can be one variable also. Suppose if I write A tends to A is also in Grayback normal form, where V1 to Vk is 0 number of times. You can see that here the value of k can be 0 or more. So this is in GNF, Grayback normal form, right? Suppose if I take A tends to A capital A, is it in Grayback normal form? Yes, it is in Grayback normal form. Suppose if I write A tends to A, AB, is it in Grayback normal form? Yes, this is also is in Graeber normal form. And suppose if I write A tends to capital AB, is it in Graeber normal form? Is this in Graeber normal form? No. This will not be in Graeber normal form. Okay. So we have to convert that statements into its equivalent Graeber normal form. Okay. For example, suppose if I write S tends to capital A, B, and C is the given grammar or is the given production, and we have A tends to small a, B tends to B, B, and let us say C tends to AC is the productions given, in which you can check the first production over here is not in Graeber normal form. So what we do to convert the same thing to its equivalent Graeber normal form is we will replace its equivalent definition in this place. That is, this A that you can see here will be taken back and it will be replaced with small a, such that all the statements, okay, now tell me, all the statements are in GNF or not? For example, here you have, this is not in GNF. Why it is not in GNF? See, Graeber normal form says only the leftmost symbol you have can be terminating. All others should be non-terminating. But look at this, both are terminating here. Small b and both are small b's. That indicates both are terminating. So how do you eliminate this? How do you convert this to Graeber normal form is, I will take a definition indicating capital D tends to small b. Now what will happen? This b that you have here can be deleted and it can be replaced with capital D. Now this is in Graeber normal form, right? And here you can see capital C. Let us consider this is small c. Okay, capital C tends to AC. Both are terminating here, which is not in Graeber normal form. Now we have to convert it to Graeber normal form. What you can do is you say E tends to small c and you replace this small c to its equivalent symbol, that is E. Okay. Now yes, this is in Graeber normal form. Now you can see the productions. The productions are S tends to ABC. It is in GNF. A tends to capital A. Yes, this is in GNF. B tends to BD. This is in GNF. C tends to AE is in GNF. D tends to B is in GNF. And E tends to small c is in GNF. So all are in GNF only. Right? Now, suppose if the given problem consists of productions like this, let me take the same grammar again. A, B, C. Okay. B is equal to B, B. Okay. Then we have A is equal to small a. Then what we have, C is equal to A C and Z is equal to A B C and A is equal to, or A tends to B, and so on. If this is the given grammar, let me do some changes to this grammar. Here what I do is, I'll say this can be epsilon also, and I'll make it as capital A here. Okay, A tends to B, A tends to B, C letter. No, we'll keep it as A tends to B only. Okay, now you can see here we have epsilon production, right? We have unit production, and you have an unreachable symbol, that is Z, that is useless symbols. If this is the grammar given, you cannot directly convert this to its equivalent GNF. Instead, what you need to do, you have to make sure you will eliminate epsilon production. You will eliminate, this can be directly eliminated because this is not reachable, right? And we have also seen techniques how to eliminate unit production, and we have seen how to eliminate epsilon production. So you have to first implement the technique, convert the grammar. Okay, let me solve this. What you do here is you have capital A, right? Capital A is having epsilon production in it. So you have to check its alternatives and substitute it. So here, if capital A is epsilon, the other possibility that you can get here is, if A is epsilon, the other possibility that you can get here is BC. So I will write that possibility. Then here, if I want to eliminate this epsilon, here you add A, keep that A as it is. If I want to eliminate this epsilon for A, the other possibility that you can get is small a. Okay, so that is how you will eliminate epsilon symbols. And unit production, how to eliminate it? Suppose this unit production was of the kind A tends to A. You can directly eliminate it because it is giving you the same production, isn't it or not? So now what I need to do, I want to eliminate A tends to B. So for B, this is the unit production, right? For B, you have another definition. What is the definition for B? A tends to B can be written as 2 small b's. So I can eliminate this unit production and I will replace that particular symbol with 2 small b's. That is how I am eliminating unit productions here. Now you can, if you want, you can combine this by writing BB here only, because the definition of A is also BB now. So, okay, so I would like to keep it a separate definition only because this is not in GNF. I want to convert this into GNF later. That's why I'm keeping it separate. Okay. Now, how do you convert this particular grammar to its equivalent? What? To its equivalent GNF, right? So let us convert it here. See, the definition you have here is S tends to capital A, B, C or BC, right? First, let us take the first definition. That is S tends to capital A, B, C. Is it in GNF? No, this is not in GNF. So how do you convert this into GNF? See, look at the possibilities you have for A. What are the definitions you have for A? Small a, capital A, bar, small a, right? So give, and there is one more definition, 2 small b's are there. Okay. So try to replace the definitions of this with respect to here. So what this will happen here, this A can be replaced with small a, capital A, BC, followed by, this is the first definition of A. What is the second definition of A? A, A, BC, right? Now, look at one more. You have two B's, followed by capital BC. Now, in these three, you check is there anything that is in GNF. You can see here, this line or this production is in GNF, right? And this is also in GNF because the first one is terminating, the other two or other three are non-terminating. Okay, so this is in GNF now, and this is also in GNF. Now you have to look at this. This is not in GNF. So what I do, I'll try to add a new production to this. What is the new production I'll add? Let us say capital D tends to small b is the new production that I want to add here. Now what will happen? This B that you can see can be replaced with capital D. This can be replaced with capital D. Now you can clearly see this first definition of A, B, C is in GNF. All are in GNF now. Okay. Similarly, you will change this also to its equivalent GNF. Second one, what you have? S tends to BC, right? S tends to capital BC is the definition you have. So what you can do here, this somehow I want to change it to its equivalent GNF. Now check what is the definition of B given. The definition of B given is small b's. So we have S tends to small b and one more small b and C. And you can check here for B, I have given a definition of D. So the second B that you can see here can be changed to what? It can be changed to D, right? So this is also in GNF now. So here, instead of BC, I can put this BDC that is in GNF. And instead of ABC, I can put these three definitions over here so that the first production will become GNF. Then we will go back here for B. The definition of B here you have is BB, and for B I have already given a definition D. So this B can be replaced with what? It can be replaced with D. Now this is in GNF. These two have replacement is here, which is also in GNF. This is one replacement for BC. This is the second replacement for the first of ABC, right? So this is first one is in GNF, second one is also in GNF, third one is also in GNF, fourth production is also in GNF, fifth is also in GNF, and the sixth one is not in GNF. A tends to D, B is not in GNF, but for the small b, I have a definition, D. So what I do, I'll eliminate this B and I'll replace the same thing with its equivalent definition D. Okay, so now you can check all the productions are in GNF only. So this is one way. This is the way in which you can convert the given Grebac normal form to its any given CFG to its equivalent Grebac normal form. So what is the steps involved in conversion is, first one, you have to identify if there are any epsilon symbols present in the given productions. If there are any epsilon symbols, you have to eliminate it. Then you have to identify, is there any useless symbols in the given grammar? If there are any useless symbols, you have to eliminate that also. And the third one is, you have to check, is there any unit productions? If there are any unit productions, you eliminate unit productions. So you have to eliminate epsilon productions, useless symbols, and unit productions before going to conversion. After elimination of this, you will get some grammar. So that grammar you have to convert into its equivalent GNF, by making the required changes. Just now I have shown you, and you can also add more productions if required. Okay, so we'll see one more example on this. Okay, see here, the example says S tends to CAB, A tends to AB or BB or small b, B tends to B. First check whether it is in Greback normal form. Yes, first one is in Greback normal form. This is terminating, the other two are non-terminating. Second one, yes, it is also in Greback normal form. Third one is also in Greback normal form. So the given grammar is in Greback normal form. But look at the second one, the given grammar is not in Greback normal form here. So what is our main agenda here is to convert this to its equivalent Greback normal form. So what you can do here is, you can see in the first production, you have this symbol is as terminating and this as terminating. So somehow we have to eliminate it. How to eliminate it? Introduce a new production that says capital B tends to small b. Okay. Now what will happen here is, this small b that I have can be replaced with its equivalent capital B. This will be capital B now, and this will be capital B, because I have added a new production, and now you can see this is in Greback normal form, right? Then you have S tends to small a, and one more small a is there. So what you need to do, let us add one more production, that is capital A indicates, gives you small a. Now this a can be replaced with capital A. Now this is in Greback normal form. This is also in Greback normal form. This is also in Greback normal form. So finally you can conclude the given grammar is successfully converted to its equivalent Greback normal form. So this is how you will be converting any given grammars to its equivalent Greback normal forms. I'll repeat the steps. First you identify, is there any epsilon symbol? There are no epsilon symbols. Check, is there any useless symbol? There were no useless symbols in it. Third one, check, is there any unit productions? So there are no unit productions in it. If they are present, you have to first eliminate it, and we have clearly discussed how to eliminate them in our previous classes, right? Then you have to solve by taking their equivalent productions. Okay, so let us see one more example. Okay, see here, he has taken the same example. This small b we replaced with capital B. So for capital B, you are given a definition, so on. Okay, just now I have shown you how to solve this problem. So this is how you'll be converting the Greback normal form to its any given context-free grammars to its equivalent CFG. And these two are very important. There are two types of normal forms: Chomsky normal form, which says the productions should be of the kind a non-terminal or a variable giving you two variables, or a variable giving you single terminating symbol. That is one form. That is Chomsky normal form. And what your Greback normal form says? Any production in which the leftmost symbol should be terminating, that is, there are no leftmost derivations, and the right side variables can grow. That is your Greback normal form. So we are done with both the normal forms. Two normal forms, that is Chomsky normal form and Greback normal form. Okay, so this is